Hi everyone, uh, Talkie time. Next episode is here, and it's going to be the first episode where we will talk full in English because my cousin here, Tamara, is
Hello.
UK citizen.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, hi Tamara.
Hi, Turgil.
Okay. I think you should just start by introducing yourself
Yeah, sure. Should I speak to you or the camera?
to me.
Okay. Hi, Turgil. Yeah, let me introduce myself. So my name is Temra, and I live in London. I've been living there since I was 3 years old. So I would say, yeah, most of my life has been spent in the UK, and I have been like a British citizen since like 2017. So I've like grown up with the British education system. I've like done all my exams in that kind of like structure, and I studied um, throughout my life until 18 when I went to university. So I studied English literature at Oxford, and I graduated last summer. So yeah, so I've been having like a 1 year kind of gap year, and I'm in Mongolia to have like some summer vacation, see my family, and I'm here to talk about my experience
Yeah.
and share kind of what I did to get where I am and how I navigated the university process.
Thank you for like accepting my invitation
Yeah, thanks for
and
having me.
and congrats on your graduation.
Oh, thank you very much.
English literature. Is it hard? Like English?
It was challenging, but I really enjoyed the subject and
Okay.
my teachers were great.
Hmm. Okay. So in the US, they have like this common app where you put all your information in one place and send it to all the colleges you wanna send. So in the UK, do they have something similar to this? Like a website or like something similar?
Yeah, they do. It's called UCAS. So that's the system, that's the website. It stands for like university, some like central admission system, I think.
Mm,
And that website is where everyone puts their choices, puts their subject, your details, your grades, and depending on which subject or which school you apply to, they are all sent at the same time. But
mm,
if you're applying to maybe do medicine or applying to some schools, you have to do it early. So when you're around 18, that's when everyone sends the application through UCAS, and you kind of make your account when you're 17 or like
mm.
kind of 16, but you have to send it all when you're 18
Oh,
or when you're doing your A-level exams. So
okay.
that's the
Can you change your like major throughout the application process? Like, for an example, if you send to Oxford for maybe engineering, then maybe to Edinburgh for literature. Like, can you do that?
that's the thing. I think you have to apply to the same subject for
Oh,
each college choice.
mm,
Unless they don't have that subject, then you choose this most like a different subject. But
oh,
usually you have one application for the same subject for all the schools. So they all read the same kind of essay, they all
mm,
see the same application. So it's hard to do different ones for each school. So you just have one application and then all the schools get it. So
mm.
if you can change your major, but if you submit it already, then you'll have to do an entirely new
Oh,
application. So it's quite hard to change it after you send it.
mhm. How many essays do you write?
Essay, so UCAS, you have something called personal statement. When I
Mm-hmm,
did it in 2021,
mm-hmm.
you had to write like a long essay statement explaining why you want to why you chose the subject, what makes you interested in it, and that was like an essay. But now actually UCAS have changed it since I did it,
Mm,
so now it's 3 questions. They it's kind of still like an essay format, but instead of like a long essay, it's just 3 questions. So you answer
one by
maybe
one.
100, 200 words each.
Oh,
So it's not like a very, very long, like personal essay.
mhm. Okay, so when did your like whole college journey began? Like from the application process, when did it begin?
I think w- so. In the UK, we have like when you're 16 to 18, you have sixth form. So you have like high school and then sixth form. That's when you're 16, 18, and you do a set of exams called A levels. So you usually have 3 A levels that you have to study throughout those 2 years, and then when you're in your final year, you do the exams. Um, at the end of my first year of sixth form, that's when they started telling us think about what you want to study at university, so that after summer holiday you can begin your application in your final year of high school. And then, so I would say it started the summer when I was 17. So yeah, around like July when I was 17. And then over the summer holiday, you're encouraged to research your choices, think about what you want to study, prepare your personal essay. And then in the autumn term, like September to October, that's when everyone started applying, sending their application. For Oxford, you have to send your application early in October. So I started in the end of summer writing my essay. So I sent my application in October to Oxford, but the other schools, I sent it like December time.
Oh, so Oxford is earlier
Yes.
compared to the others. Okay.
Yeah.
I look at UK as like more academic sided like country compared to maybe others such as the US. So is it true they look more into the academics more than they look into the extracurricular things?
I think I would agree that they do look at your outside kind of academic interest. I would say the personal statement was mostly focused on your academic and your like personal interest in the subject, and you are encouraged to mention your like hobbies and things that you've done to pursue your choice. So I said that I liked English literature. I liked kind of the having a perspective and that there are changing arguments. And then to support that, I also talked about doing debating in French. So I studied French and then I did like one competition debating. And that's like just something I mentioned, not made I didn't make it the main point, but I said that something like that supports the fact that there are many different perspectives and literature can be understood in different ways through different languages. So that's like something extracurricular, but is related to my subject. So I would say that the statement universities admissions in the UK, I think they focus more on your actual research and personal interest rather than like how many societies or clubs or kind of sports you do. But I think it's important to mention it to show that you're like a dynamic, yeah, like you have a life outside of like academic life. When I got the email, it was around January time, which was kind of like two months after I started the application process. And I got the email. I was just in my room. I was at home because we were studying at home because of COVID, and I knew like the morning that I would get it because they said it will be between like this time and this time. So I was refreshing my inbox, and then I saw the Oxford University email address, so I knew it was that email. So when I opened it, I kind of just like closed my eyes that it was open because I didn't want to see it straight away. I wanted to like prepare myself. So I closed my eyes and then I like slowly like revealed the screen and it has said congratulations, and I was so happy. I just started like clapping and like cheering in my room. And my brother, he was next door, and then he came inside and he heard and he looked at the email and he was very happy. He gave me like a hug, and then I went downstairs to my parents, and actually I wanted to play a prank. So I told them I didn't get accepted to see how they would react.
Yeah.
I was like, I got the email and I didn't get accepted. And then they were like, oh, okay, it's okay. Like, don't worry, you tried. And then I was like, I'm kidding. I said, I'm kidding. I actually got accepted. And then they were like, really? Because they thought I was lying. But yeah, so after that confusion, I showed them the email, and then we were all very happy. And then we celebrated. We got some cake. We had a nice meal, and then it was a very happy day. But yeah, so that was my memory.
Congrats again. Um, if 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 there was a moment like uh where you thought you wouldn't get in, like what like did you ever think you wouldn't get in, and what kept you going?
Mm, I think for me, the time I struggled during my application process was firstly is when I was writing my statement. I had to change it maybe three, four, five times. The first time I wrote it, I was pretty confident and I liked my content. I thought the kind of academic journey that it showed was quite interesting and personal. But I showed it to one of my teachers at school, and she was the one supporting students with their UCAS university
Yeah.
applications. And she told me to maybe change it, that I needed to make it more focused. Because I spoke about Mongolian literature and kind of that my Mongolian upbringing and like culture. I guess it wasn't very relevant to why I'm trying to study English literature at Oxford. So she told me to maybe just make it more focused. So when I was trying to change it, I struggled with that. I was like upset because I thought it was ready to go, but it was only like a few weeks before the deadline that she said, maybe change it, edit it a lot. So that was really difficult for me. Um, because it was also during a busy time of school, not
Mm-hmm.
just applications, but also exams that were coming up. It was quite intense. But after that, the application was okay until the interview process. Um, to kind of undergo that interview process at Oxford is quite an intense experience.
Mm-hmm.
They do at least 2 interviews with your professors, the ones who could teach you, and I had 4 interviews. The minimum is
Mm,
2. Sometimes you can get like up to 5.
yeah.
So I had 4 interviews, which I didn't expect. And the first 2 interviews I thought went really well. But then they told me I had another 2 interviews. So I was a bit worried that maybe I didn't do very well in the first 2 interviews. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
want me to do more. And then the second 2 interviews that I had were really bad. Like I really struggled with the questions. When I was answering the questions, they didn't seem very impressed. It felt quite like awkward sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It was also online, so I think that made it more stressful because you're not kind of in the same room. You can't see their body language. So after those interviews, I was really upset and I like cried a lot. I thought I ruined all my chances because of that
Oh.
interview. So I was really surprised when I got the acceptance because after that interview, which was the last stage, it was
Mm-hmm.
really like I felt really terrible. So yeah, I think those 2 were my most like challenging moments. But what kept me going? I guess I was just like I've already passed. I've already done so much to get here, like so many people have helped me. I might as well just try my best and just give this opportunity what I can, because even if I don't get into Oxford, I'm still gonna apply to like I'm still applying to other good schools that I like, and
Yeah.
the courses are interesting. So I'm not putting my entire like life into this, but also because it's an opportunity that is available, I might as well just do my best and in this moment kind of give myself the best chance. So that was what I was thinking during the time.
Okay. So, your application as a whole,
Hmm.
what was the anchor? What like major applications stand out from the others?
Mm, my anchor, that's a nice way to put it. My anchor, I don't know. I guess my anchor at the end of the day, it has to be my love for the subject. I
Yeah.
think I was really passionate about English literature from the beginning, and I think that really helped me with my application because I was deciding what my major was, and I was thinking between law and English literature because both of them I think are very similar in some ways. You're reading a lot, you're writing essays and thinking about arguments, and you're researching very thoroughly. um, but ultimately, I think my passion and my heart was drawn to literature more, like the storytelling. Since I was young at school, I always really liked reading books and writing. Um, and also, I think I was choosing between like career major and like personal kind of
Preference.
fulfilling major. Yeah, my preference. And I spoke to some people and they said if you want to study law, or become a lawyer, you can do that later after you graduate. You can do like 1 or 2 years, kind of train, you get your qualification. You don't need to study law at university if you want to do something like that in the future. So after that kind of experience, I decided I wanted to do literature because I was really passionate about it. So I think that was my anchor, the fact that I was so um, interested in it and I was engaged with literature outside of school. I liked
Mm-hmm.
going to um, like the theatre. I liked going to museums and reading books that my school didn't tell me to read. Um, I think that's what made my statement have that personal like voice of
Mm-hmm.
my ambition and my interest and curiosity. I think that's what they really look for. Like every university wants someone who is curious and will challenge themselves to learn beyond what the school teaches them. And I think for any student or any subject, it's about your, at the end of the day, your personal like
Yeah.
ambition and your passion. Because even if you're very clever and you can sound like you know a lot, that if you don't have the fire to do more and challenge yourself and like read more and think about different ways of your subject, I think that's what they want to see in your statement at the end.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Here is a like interesting question.
Hmm.
What were your expectations going to Oxford, and like did your expectations like real, or it was a bit different than you expected? And how was your journey in Oxford you get your after your acceptance?
Mm. My expectations for Oxford, I guess they was very Harry Potter, like beautiful old architecture, very traditional, many kind of old professors, lots of different kind of customs and ceremonies, lots of Latin. That was my expectation. But also because my older brother, he studied 1 year, he studied there 2 years before me. I went to visit him. So um, before I applied to Oxford, I went to see him and see how he was living there. And I think that also made my expectations less like fairy tale romantic.
Mm-hmm.
When I got there, I saw many students who were like me, just like kind of regular, everyday. They didn't look like they were from Harry Potter or like wearing long coats, or like leather bags and old dusty books. They just looked like students who were just doing their work. So after I visited him, my expectations were kind of more realistic. And then when I studied there, I met more people who were very friendly. They were really like, people are clever, but they're not just clever. Like they're also interested in sports, interested in like dancing or like instruments. Like people are more than their academics. That's what I kind of realized. I thought students would be very hardworking, only doing their academic work. But actually,
Mm-hmm.
people at Oxford were really talented and academic, but also passionate about other stuff. Like that's
Oh,
what I learned. Yeah, it was a very amazing experience. So beautiful. I think there were. I always felt like it was like a movie. Like when I was walking, every time I would look, it was just beautiful, and also lots of bicycles. That's what I
really?
realized. Many students cycle because the streets are very safe, and yeah, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Do you have things you wished you knew while you were applying to the schools?
Applying. I think I wish I knew that you don't have to really be stressed if you are prepared. I think I was quite stressed about like in that short period between October to January. I was very stressed. Maybe I could have started preparing earlier in the summer. Um, but I think that in the end, it all kind of happened in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I would say to myself is, I don't know, just focus on yourself. Sometimes it's very easy to think about what other people are doing and applying to, and someone says, "Oh, I finished my essay already. I'm finished my application." I felt very like, you need to hurry up. I need to be faster or make mine better or finish earlier. So I think I would tell myself, just focus on your own application. Don't worry about other people. They're on their own journey. They're doing like different schools, different courses. So just focus on your own subject, on your own ambition, and I think that will help you feel less, I don't know, scared and anxious, and you could just do your best. I think that's what I would say.
Okay. Okay. Uh, okay, that's what you would have said to you. Okay, so to people who are looking to study in the UK or maybe especially Oxford, what would you advise them?
Yeah, I think coming from like a UK citizen perspective, I would say there is a lot of information on about like application, but it's quite hard to find like personal students experiences unless you go to, there are things called like Insight webinar or kind of online application process guide. So lots of universities or kind of websites who support university progress applications, they have their own like online call where they invite students, they invite teachers, they invite admissions workers, and they all allow students to join from all over the world. You can ask questions, you can hear directly from students. I think those are really good opportunities to have a more personal insight, because you can look online and read, but actually if you really want to just talk face to face, there are many different like calls like that you can join. So I think research those, search on kind of YouTube for maybe past students who have gone there. I think there are so many videos of students saying how they got in, and sometimes they record those kind of wide webinars and then they put it online as well. So you could watch those. But I guess it's all about community. Find the community that is similar to you, and then you will find people who can help you, who will, or just message other students who have been to those schools or have done that experience. I think people really want to help others, especially coming from like a Mongolian British student who's now graduated. I would really encourage other like Mongolians or just people who are looking to study abroad, just find someone who is willing and friendly. I think many people are very happy to help one another. So yeah, just reach out. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And I think find your community. And I think that will really help you find the personal, really good advice that will help you specifically.
So this is the conclusion part, okay? Now that you're here, like assess your whole journey and answer me this. How did you do it? In one word only. Like how did you do it? How did you get into Oxford and graduated successfully?
Mm,
One word.
one
You can take
word.
your time.
One word.
Others said like community, determination, and like something similar.
I would say like compassion.
Oh, compassion. Oh, that's a nice
Compassion.
word.
Yeah. I would say I'm saying compassion because I think that word for me it really reflects like the spirit that you have to have. You when things are hard, you can't be upset, you can't be angry at yourself or with other people. Or if you're feeling stressed, if you feel more stress at yourself, honestly it makes things worse. Feeling like you're overwhelmed and scared or anxious, frustrated, I think compassion is the best way to be.
Overcome it.
Yeah, I think so. You have to be kind to yourself, be kind to other people who are struggling. People are kind to me, and then that really helped me. So I think it's a really, yeah, like so many things in life are really hard, and of course, like college applications are one of the most stressful things that many young people
Struggle.
like struggle with, and it's the kind of culmination for many years of like hard work. But I think being compassionate is so important. So I think that's my word.
Okay. I really appreciate your effort coming here and talking about your experience.
Yeah, thank you so much as well for having me to talk about my journey, and it's been a very reflective and enjoyable time for me as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. This is the end. Yeah, I really appreciate you. Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks, Tidkish. I appreciate this too.
Okay, thank you.